A bet is a bet. And Coach Coop is a man of his word. I said in my preview video that if Clemson defeated Miami, that I would dress up in a Tigers cheerleader uniform and do some cheers for you guys. Now, I don't know any Clemson cheers, so I'm just going to make some up. So, here we go. Give me a C. Give me an L. Give me an E. Give me an M. S-O-N. What's that spell? Clemson. What's that spell? Clemson. Woo! Go Tigers, go. Go Tigers, go. Beat Miami. Woo!
Coach Coop, Coach Coop, Coach Coop, the Coach Coop Show. Coach Coop, Coach Coop, Coach Coop, the Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show.
What's going on, Canes fans and the Clemson fans? Because I know you guys are here. Congratulations on winning the bet. I'm a man of my word, so you saw the whatever that was at the beginning of this video. Miami fans, I'm sorry that you had to see that. If my lips still look a little orange, then you know why. I've spent the last probably 15, 20 minutes trying to remove that stuff. I was going to say never try putting on lipstick, guys, because it's really hard to get off. But do I really need to give you that warning? I don't know. That feels really weird. So as all of you already know, Clemson defeats Miami 42-17. Just an absolutely pitiful performance from the Miami Hurricanes. Typically in these reaction videos, we take a look at positives, then we take a look at negatives, then we look at some of the stats, and then just discuss the game in general. Well, for this video, I didn't really take a lot of notes. There's not very many positives, if any at all. I'm going to try to dig deep and find something. It's mostly going to be negatives. So just keep in mind that it's not even that I'm trying to nitpick the team. We just need to address both the positives and the negatives so we can try to get better. So what are some positives from this game? Wow, okay. Maybe I should have taken more notes. The only positive that comes to mind, I'm being straight up with you guys, is you can always pick little things, right? But the only thing that stands out is maybe the special teams, the 2 blocked field goals. And considering that of our 17 points, 7 of that comes from that blocked field goal that was returned for a touchdown to end the second quarter. So 2 blocked field goals is huge typically in a game. If this were one that came down to field goals and it was actually a tight game, that would have been enormous. But that's really about it for the positives that I have for this game. We knew that it was going to be a measuring stick. This was really the first good opponent. And I don't know why I'm doing quotes. Clemson's a good football team. As much as many Canes fans don't want to admit it. This was a measuring stick for Miami, and it's very apparent and obvious that we still have a long way to go. So let's address some of the negatives, things that went wrong in this game for us. This list goes on and on, but let's just hit on some of the big ones. Can we talk about the bye week curse under Manny Diaz? I, honest to goodness, almost want to be like, can we just not have bye weeks? Like, we'll scrimmage high school teams, or we'll fill it in with teams like UTEP or something. I don't know, a feel-good game. Something so we don't have to take a bye week. I don't know what this coaching staff does during the bye week. Why we come out so unprepared. I mean, in a normal situation, having a bye week before a big opponent is a bonus. It's time for extra preparation, extra healing time. You should come out looking ready to go with a game plan, but we always come out flat off of a bye week, and I don't know what we can do to change it. Miami has never won a game coming off of a bye week under Manny Diaz. Let that sink in. And this one's kind of going back to a positive a little bit, but the only players that I feel like that looked a little more prepared than everybody else in this matchup would probably be the Eric King at times because he did break off a couple of big runs and actually was our leading rusher in this game. Maybe Jalen Phillips and possibly Bubba Bolden. To be straight up with you guys, Clemson took control of this game from the very first possession and dominated us for 4 straight quarters. Period. And that brings me to a point that I brought up in my preview video and in the night before stream, and it's a big reason why I actually did predict a loss in this game. Now, again, I wanted to be wrong. I was wishing and hoping that I was going to be wrong. And we were close with Clemson. I was 3 points off with their score, but I gave Miami's offense a little bit too much credit with the 34. But a lot of this team, a lot of the players on this Miami squad are unproven. I mean, when you think about it, the last time that we were on a big-time stage like this, facing, a top 10, top 15, top 25 opponent, where we just absolutely dominated and took care of business, was probably Notre Dame back in 2017. And that's why with my prediction, I said that I hope I'm wrong, but this team has to prove me wrong. And our poor offensive line, I know that we feel like they've been progressing over these last 3 games, and I do think that they have been getting better, especially when compared to last season. And this offense seems to be a pretty good fit for this O-line that we have. But when stepping up to Clemson's level of competition, they just absolutely got decimated, destroyed, owned all night long. And poor De'Aaron King was running for his life in this game. And it's a big reason why we were never able to establish any tempo. And that's what this offense is all about, right? We keep the defense on their toes. We're coming out, we're running 60-plus plays per game, and we just couldn't do that against Clemson. And don't even get me started. I know I'm venting a little bit in this reaction video, but it's immediately after the game. And even though I expected a loss, I'm still disappointed that the game wasn't closer and we weren't more competitive. So don't even get me started on this wide receiver group. I don't even know if they got off the bus and showed up to the game, if I'm being completely honest with you. But overall, guys, what can I really say? We got dominated offensively, defensively. We had no answers for Clemson at all. We literally only scored 1 touchdown on offense because we had the 1 field goal and we had the blocked field goal that was returned for a touchdown. So we didn't even compete with Clemson as far as I'm concerned. One thing you could say that would be a positive, maybe, can you say it's a positive? I don't really know, is that the team we did just get destroyed by is currently the number 1 team in the country. So it's not like we got destroyed by Louisville or FSU. This is the number 1 team in the country that we're talking about. But as Canes fans, we were just hopeful that if we were taking a step in the right direction, we felt like that we could maybe be more competitive in this game. It's closer than some of the previous games we've played against Clemson, but it still just felt like it should have been more competitive than that. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but I do just want to put out there that this is Manny Diaz's 2nd year as a head coach. This is Rhett Lashley's 1st year implementing the offense here at Miami, and although it's looked nice and sparkly and shiny in these previous games, this was a real tough opponent that we played. So it's tough. We've got some young guys. We had some new faces that had to even play tonight due to ejections and injuries and stuff like that. So again, not making excuses. I'm just saying that this was probably going to be a tough game. What I really want to know and what I really want to see from this Miami Hurricanes team is it's early in the season, right? This is only game number 4. How do we respond after a loss now? We had so much hype. College game day, number 7 in the country. We're beating everybody, right? We're on track. The U could be back sometime soon. Do we hang our heads now and pout, or do we come out swinging, mad, angry, aggressive, now, hopefully a little more disciplined than we played in the Clemson game? But how do we respond after taking a loss like this? Because it's going to be floating around on social media, people poking fun at Miami fans and the Miami Hurricanes program once again. People calling for Manny's head as they always do after a loss. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team responds. But with all my ranting out of the way, let's head over to ESPN.com, take a quick look at the stats. This is a really short reaction video, guys. Again, I'm still feeling kind of sick and fatigued. I put all my energy into that cheer, unfortunately. You're welcome, Clemson fans, at the beginning of the video. So just a quick breakdown team stats here. Again, Miami fans, hold tight for me because this is going to be really rough when we break this down. 9 first downs for Miami, 34 for Clemson. 4 of 15, third down efficiency. Some of this is just now hitting me again when I'm looking at these stats. 210 total yards of offense for Miami compared to Clemson's 550. 121 passing yards for us, 292 for Clemson. Let's see, 89 rushing yards. We never got the run game going. When you take a look, when we go look at the actual rushing yards for each player, you're going to see that that's pretty much the D'Eriq King show right there. 258 for Clemson. We couldn't tackle ETN. We knew that we had to take him down. We had to wrap up. We weren't able to do it. 15 penalties for 135 yards. The discipline was terrible. A couple of ejections. That was a big deal for us. 8 penalties for 85 for Clemson. 3 turnovers for us. One of those was N'Kosi Perry in the fourth quarter, garbage time, just trying to get guys some play time. Time of possession, Clemson had almost double. We did. Miami's defense spent a lot of time on the field, and that really hurt us, and that was rough as well. When we're looking at individual stats, D'Eriq King, 28 passing attempts. It's rough when you can't get the passing game going or the run game. 12 of 28 for 121 yards and 2 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence, I'll just at least mention him, 29 of 41, 292 yards for 3 touchdowns. He played exactly how Clemson fans would expect him to play. This is where it's rough. Look at this, guys. Miami rushing. We've been able to establish a running game in our past games, right? Cameron Harris has been a beast. I myself talk up Don Chaney Jr. and Jalen Knighton. Chaney had 8 yards. Harris had 3 yards. Knighton had 0 yards. When we were running it, we were trying to run it up the gut, and it wasn't there all night long and was never going to be there. Our offensive line, again, just absolutely got destroyed by Clemson's D-line. ETN, to give you a comparison here, 17 carries for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did everything that he wanted to do in this game. Receivers, I don't even know. Brevin Jordan had 3 receptions early, 31 yards, and then he kind of seemed to be battling an injury a little bit. What looked like his arm or his elbow. Mallory, I don't even know, came in at one point. We tried some trickery. 1 reception for 5 yards. Guys, I don't even know. 1 reception for Wiggins. We went to him several times. The tallest wide receiver in that wide receiver room for us, and he doesn't seem to be able to high point the ball and fight for it. We need a guy like that King can toss it up, and they'll actually fight for the ball. Harley, 3 receptions for 17 yards. Is Pope even on here? I thought he had at least 1 reception. I don't know. That's about it. That's about it. Defensive stats aren't on here yet. I think we might have sacked Trevor Lawrence once, maybe twice, and I may be wrong on that. That may not have even happened. Does it sound weird to say it's almost like it's kind of a blur? It's like after that first drive, I was like, okay, as long as we respond. We didn't respond. Then Clemson scored, and it's like there's an area there that maybe I don't want to remember it. Maybe that's why I don't remember it, right? It's just a blur. But again, it was a measuring stick game for the Canes. We're not up to that level yet, and we still have a lot of work to do. Could Miami run the table and win the rest of their ACC games and potentially set up a rematch against Clemson? I don't know. We're going to have to see what Notre Dame does and some of these other teams. I don't really know where we stand until we play some more better teams. Pitt's going to probably be a tough game next week. But hopefully we come out swinging and we look much more prepared than we looked in this game. That's going to be it, guys. I hope, again, Clemson fans, you enjoyed the little thing at the beginning of the video. I sure as heck didn't. Share it, I guess. You're probably going to. It's going to be all over the internet, social media, Clemson forums. Trust me, the LSU fans, when I had to eat crow for that video when I placed the bet, that's exactly what happened. So that's probably what's going to happen here. I'm still all day, every day, guys. Ride or die. We kind of, I think, expected this to happen, but many Canes fans were in denial or didn't want to admit it or were just riding the hype train. I'm not saying fire Manny Diaz. I'm not saying fire Rhett Lashley. I'm not anything crazy like that, right? This was the #1 team in the country, and we took a big fat L. So, hey, remember, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's still always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out, guys.